Hey everyone, and welcome back to Joy at Work. It's October 23rd, 2020, and can't believe it. It's almost just pretty much got 2 months left in the year. Wow. Well, so coming to you today and wanting to talk about conflict, and there's a lot of conflict going on. If you saw my video last week, it was a proclamation to end SARS, and I'm starting this video with that. We need a just bring to an end any social institutions that just continue to inflict harm and brutality on citizens and members of that social group. So again, I remain in solidarity with my brothers and sisters in Nigeria and all over the world, the United States as well. We need to end police brutality, specifically in Nigeria. We need to end SARS now. And so, with that being said, I just want to talk a little bit about conflict. I'll start off by saying that conflict is unavoidable. If I want to go left and you want to go right, we have conflict. We don't agree. We have different ideas. And because we have conflict, we got to think about how we resolve our conflict and how we can move forward together. And one of the things that you learn quickly in life, I think, in the home and in other places, is that the key to conflict is really either establishing your superiority or your dominance. And if you can't do that, then just compromising, walking away with what you would benefit from or with, and having the other person do the exact same. In other words, we play this game of either I win or I don't lose as badly, right? It's one or the other. Ideally, I'm winning and moving forward. So let's all go right. And that's winning. So I'm going to convince you, I'm going to spend my time convincing you that right is the best path to go. And then if I can't convince you to go, right, then maybe I say, well, let's not go anywhere. So that way you don't win, I don't win, but nobody wins. So Mary Parker Follett, who has been fondly referred to as a prophet of management, basically um, identified three ways we can handle conflict, and I've basically gone over the first two, which is domination, and I like to think about domination in the context of debate as well. So last night in the United States, we had the final presidential debates, and debates are all about winning. Like if you check the news right now, the only conversation you have going on about the debate, or the biggest thing I think, not the only thing, is who won, who came out on top. So debates about winning, it's about domination, it's about superiority, it's about establishing or asserting your betterness. And that's what we get when we look at just the notion of winning in conflict and the wars, who won, and all these kinds of things. And that's why we need to be careful with our metaphors in general. So there's that. There's also compromise and let's negotiate. And again, this happens a lot. We see it in many places where it's compromise, it's give and take. It's often recommended, it's often encouraged. um, and in life, in society, we see this a lot. It also happens in the workplace too. I want to suggest the third way today, and this is not original to me, but I rediscovered it in the writings of Mary Parker Follett, and that's the way of integration. It's taking the best of both worlds, ideas, thoughts, coming and combining them, excuse me, and coming up with something that was better, is better than what any one person could have brought to the table. And this is an important view and approach to things, approach that says, can we merge or bring together ideas and thoughts and come up with something better that better than either one of us or the group of us as individuals would have come up with. And I think this is very, very important in the workplace, especially when we think about the workplace is really not about, life and death in many cases. It's not about winning a war. It's not about establishing superiority, even though, you know, many engineers always want to be the right one in the room. It is really about how do we come up with the best ideas, best plans, best approaches, and move forward. And in many cases, everyone's view of best is different. Now, I want to give a word of caution here. there's a huge assumption I'm bringing to this conversation, and that assumption is that the people having this conversation um, are generally within the same realm of knowledge and understanding, right? And so their ideas are generally equivalent or close. I'm not talking about situations where somebody has no idea of what's going on and then we're trying to integrate their thoughts into the conversation. Not that there might not be something there could be, but generally speaking, we're talking about situations where all of our perspectives are informed, we're all knowledgeable, we all have a good sense of what's going on. We're all believable, so to speak, to use a Ray Dalio term. We're all believable. There's believability there. In those situations, it's really about how do we bring our ideas together and come up with an idea that's greater than the sum of the parts, right? And this is where dialogue is very, very important. So I talked about debate, and debate's really about winning, and debate often ends up with compromise as well. But dialogue is really focused on let's getting the best out of this situation. Let's increase our learning. Let's increase our understanding, and let's move forward. I can tell you that there are many times where I have to start in a conversation with somebody, and depending on kind of where it's going and what I want out of it, I might just check out because the reality is if somebody wants to win or dominate or debate, then you're not going to get the best idea. I want to be careful here, right? Because sometimes debate's needed. Sometimes debate is needed, right? Sometimes compromise might be needed. But I would encourage us all, especially in the workplace, to start from a position of integration and to say, we've all got great ideas. How can we bring these together to move forward? If we can't do that because we've tried to do it, we've adopted and used good dialogue techniques, and we have to fall back maybe to compromise or maybe to somebody just ruling by virtue of the authority and saying this is what we're going to do, then maybe that's where we end up. But instead of starting with let me assert my authority, let me assert my superiority, let me dominate, or let's compromise, let's find out how we can all lose the least. Think about integration, think about dialogue, think about creating a product, an idea, a plan that's better than what you as an individual could have come up with. If you approach conflict, because that's not going away, if we approach conflict as an opportunity, if we see it as friction for learning, as an opportunity for getting better, then we can really, really benefit from it. The workplace is full of conflict. We're never gonna avoid conflict. Talking about cognitive conflict now, we're never gonna avoid a conflict of ideas, thoughts, and approaches, but we can get better at how we deal with conflict. We can integrate our ideas and come up with great results. All right. Thanks for checking in. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, share this channel with your friends if you find it valuable. Bye.